understandably been a lot of focus on the fate of schools across the country, but now it's the childcare sector that has been really crying out for help. Sources have told me that we will be seeing a support package on the way to help childcare centres. They've been facing a lot of difficulties in the past few weeks. We've seen an incredible number of parents deciding to remove their children from childcare to keep them at home, and that has put a lot of pressure on these centres. Around 4% of childcare centres across the country have been forced to close their doors as a result of the coronavirus. We know that the government has previously provided some assistance to the sector. They have increased the number of days that the childcare subsidy is paid to the centres, even if a child is no longer attending. And they've also provided a series of grants when it comes to paying the overheads, the wages, but also some of the costs that these centres face. But it's my understanding that we will see more funding and more support on the way for the childcare sector when the Prime Minister is expected to speak to the country later today at a press conference, Tom. Certainly a lot more is being requested by the sector. They have been crying out for help, and they'll be happy to know it's on the way.
Yeah, look, this is vital, Trudy. Obviously, we'll wait for some of these details, but it's urgent for the centres. You've mentioned they're already closing down. It's clearly an essential service. It will particularly be one when the economy is up and running. And the issue as well is for parents. They've been grappling with whether or not they pull their children out of childcare, keep paying when they might be earning less money and risk losing their spot from that childcare centre. So it's a bit of a perfect storm here.
And that's the thing, Tom. There is a pretty wicked choice that a lot of parents face. In order to keep your place at a centre that remains open, you have to continue to pay. If you decide to pull your child out ahead of any closure that the government or the centre may announce, you aren't guaranteed to get that place back on the other side. And that's why for so many parents, even though they're facing incredible financial difficulties at times like this, in order to keep their place, they are being forced to continue to pay here. So any support that would be on the way from the government, you'd imagine, will be welcomed by thousands of parents across the country who face a pretty difficult choice when it comes to childcare, Tom.